Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 19 with me, MrSealyp. This mod review will be combining the mods for Monday the 8th of March and Tuesday the 9th of March. Is Tuesday the 9th today at the time of recording this. I was busy helping my eldest daughter move out yesterday, so I just ran out of time in the day to get this done. That being said, we have got 2 days worth of updates to look at as well, so we'll get on to those straight away. So from Monday the 8th, top left, Ravensburg map by TopAce888 has had an update. It's well worth having a look on the changelog for this because loads has changed with some console exclusives, which it says here, adapted title in the map selection, consoles only, fixed fuel selling station, consoles only, produced seeds can now be sold, added carrots and onions as a new fruit and as an animal food, consoles only, added clover and alfalfa as grass alternatives with 30% higher yield, and change swad of field grass when harvesting from grass to hay, which is consoles only as well. But there's a whole load more in that changelog, well worth a look. The map Mishamp by Richie F, the Lizard D83 pack by Cash18 and the Fluk, the CCT 2700 by GDB, the Bergman TSW 7340S by Nico Pixies, the Kuhn Interactive Sprayers by TF 2020 Mods, the HS 10.5 Tank Trailers by TF 2020 Mods, the Field Trigger Conveyor Belts by TF 2020 Mods, the Cultimer L300 D-Lim by Fred Modding. That could cause me an issue because I thought that was a new mod. So as part of the mod review you're about to watch, I have actually reviewed it. If you don't see it, I might have edited it out, but we'll see. According to this, it was an update. The Labyrinth pack by Bartson V3. The Placeable Walls by Mappers Paradise. The Sosnovka Chicken Pen by AW Modding and ABP team. The Placeable US speed limit signs by Ninja Kurt all had updates on Monday. So updates for today, Tuesday the 9th. Griffin Indiana 19 by AJ Farmer has had an update. Now part of that update as well, there's a whole load again. Check the changelog. New road textures, new field textures. I only mention this because someone asked me a question about this the other day, which I thought was a bit out of the blue. It now says town now purchasable free. Because someone said, can you ask AJ Farmer if we can have the town made free? And I have no way of contacting AJ, but yeah, it's been done. And a whole lot of other stuff. So I'd have a look in there at the changelog for that. The Selling Station by Fernand24, the Plastic Road Barriers by FSM Creations, the Old Wooden Fence by Hub Photos, the Potinger Toro Combiline by DR Modding, Seasons Geo South Bohemia by Z84, and the Man TGX Crane TCM by TCM have all had updates today. And in front of me, we have got the Placeable Highseat. This is by Lolsu Modding. It's 1.11 megabyte download, 2 slots on console. It's a decorative object, kind of like a stand hide type thing, or just for bird watching, or a very rustic tennis umpire, something along those lines. Under Placeables and decoration, 850 to buy, and it's decorative. Next up, we've got the Child's Mechanic Shop, Toddler Tools, 0.70 megabytes download, 2 slots on console. It's by GrasslandMods. It is a perfectly functioning workshop trigger for customized repair and sell, but it's got one of the plastic kids workshop things. It's just quite amusing, really. I like that as an idea, but what's great about it is how cheap it is. Under miscellaneous, Child's Mechanic Shop, 45 to buy. That's all. Slot count goes down from 2 to 1, and you've got yourself a workshop trigger. Absolutely brilliant. That's by GrasslandMods. Next, we've got these. This is the rusty-looking multi-fruit silos. These are 2.64 megabytes download, 3 slots each on console. We've got a small silo, larger silo, and extension. These are by Kaz64 and Old Aussie Gamer. They are seasons ready. As you can see, you've got the putting into the silo and the taking out of the silo. I mean, these are rusted, slightly older versions of the kind of standard in-game ones, really, but they are multi-fruit as well. Nicely detailed. These you'll find under silos. The first grain silo is 100,000 to buy, 100,000 litre capacity, and we'll take all of those crop types. The larger grain silo is 160 grand to buy, 200,000 litre capacity, again, all of those crop types. Then the silo extension will extend it by 100,000 litres, and that will cost you 80,000 to buy. Very nice indeed. Now, what we are going to do is take it as read that, to save me saying it over and over, all of the sheds that we've got, and we've got a few to whiz through, which we are going to get through, don't worry. They're all very nicely made. Detail is nice, texturing's good. Obviously, some slightly more detailed than others, depending on the slot count. Bits of weathering and stuff here and there. They don't all say they're seasons ready. Some do, some don't. I will highlight the ones. I will say the ones that say they are. I'm not too sure. The first one we've got is the big barn. This is by qwertyPL and Matix 332. 3.96 megabytes download. It is 6 slots on console. I love the sound effect on the door. It's a bit noisy, but that for me is one of the better door sounds, sliding door sounds, like a metallic thing with a little bit of a squeak on the roller at the end. I like that. Nice. 3 doors, quite a large interior. Light switch is over here. That's interesting. I assume that's putting grain and stuff like that. Having the board there as well. All of these that we're going to come across, you will find them all under sheds. So the big barn is 50,000 to buy. Once purchased, it will go down from 6 slots down to 1. Next, we've got this. This is the small garage with shelter. This is by Bartson V3. This is 5.44 megabytes download, 16 slots on console. It does say it's seasons ready. This is me for slightly smaller machinery, as you can probably tell. Lots of detail going inside. Light switch, nice and clearly marked. And then we have got one of these buttons here for adding or removing to start off with, or adding back the decorative objects. If you don't want the decorative objects, you can take them away. Like so. End door opens as well, as does the one opposite, so you can have it as a drive-through if you want it as a drive-through. Small garage with shelter by Bartson V3. 13,000 to buy. Slot count will go down from 16 to 1 for any subsequent one you purchase. Next, we have got the old European style storage barn. This by Blacksheep modding. It is 3.89 megabytes download, 15 slots on console. It does say it's seasons ready. Loads of detail on this one. Storage sections for grain and things like that if you want them to be. Garage section here underneath what can be a hayloft or storage for pallets or whatever you want. Light switches at the front here. Nice big chunky light switch. You're not going to miss it. Like I said earlier, the detailing on all these very neat, very tidy. We do have a ladder at the back here for taking us up onto the top section. Very nice. It's the additional little things like the drainage guttering and things like that. But yeah, cool. Now I'm not sure if that's intended to be a joke or not, but BS construction, is that? I know it's Blacksheep modding, but maybe it's not. Apologies if it's not. 16,000 to buy. Slot count will go down from 15 down to 1. Next, Polish garages. We've got Polish garages by Arionek. There are 2 in this pack. The slightly larger one, slightly smaller one to the side. These are 15 slots and 13 slots. 6.8 megabytes download. Light switch for both of these is on the outside just here. As you can see, I've just turned it off. And on again. Door to the sides. It's not actually a workshop trigger, it's just got workshop bits in there. Nice bit of space inside, nice and light with the lighting on. Sometimes you get buildings, they have lights, but they're quite dim. I know that's often done on purpose, depending on the building. If it's supposed to be an older building with kind of more yellowish lighting or less lighting. This one's exactly the same in that there's light switch on the outside. Open garage section on the end there. More doors, but again, this is more, I would say, small to medium machinery. These aren't very big openings here. Nice detail on the back windows, though. The kind of weathering and water ingress potentially, and a small door here at the side. Ivy. They are Polish garages after all. The Polish garage, the first one, is 25 grand. The old Polish garage is 6 grand. Next, we've got the Belgium Shed. The Belgium Shed. There's so many on this list today. The Belgium Shed, 3.14 megabytes download. 6 slots on console. This is by Ramaekers. I'm sorry if I've said that wrong. I do apologise. Overlying wooden construction on the outside. This allows a bit of an air gap and movement of air, I would imagine. Nice large section inside. Yes, so you've got the concrete up here with the wood sections overlapping on the outside. So you get that kind of overlay. You shouldn't get any water coming in. Light switch over here. Plenty of space. Nice big wide open doorway. Big wide? Yeah, it's a big and wide open doorway, yeah. The Belgium Shed is 27,000 to buy. Slot count drops down from 6 to 1. Which brings me on to, I think, the last of the sheds. Pretty sure it is. We've got the Lizard Shed with gates at the back here. This is by Kooper 3D Agrar modding. It is 10.03 megabytes download, 14 slots on console. Light switch here. I'll be honest, the light switches have been very easy to find today. Interesting, sort of slightly different design on lights on this one. Normally they're strip lights. They're hanging down, almost like kind of inverted street lamps in a way, but yeah, very cool. Now this one says System Shed with gates rather than Lizard Shed with gates. It's the same building. 40,000 to buy. Slot count will drop down from, what I said was 14 down to 1. That's all the sheds, and that's from yesterday. That's Monday's, the 8th. We've got a couple of mods from Monday as well we're going to have a look at. The first of those is this here. This is the AM185 Mower by AAA modding. It is 3.75 megabytes download, 4 slots on console. It's a rear mounted mower. You'll find it under tools and mowers. It's nice to be out of the shed section. It is 1.9 meters wide, 8,500 to buy. Only requires 26 horsepower to pull, and it will run at 13 miles per hour, and it will cut grass. We do have a couple of options. We can have the WM185, or we can have an older class model like that, the RK185. Those are the two options. Same mower, just different decals and ages, I would imagine. L1 and X unfolds the mower from its transport position. Turn it on, we drop it down. There we have it. Side mower, rear mounted. Then we can put it back into its transport position. Just like that. There we go. That's by AAA modding. Next we have got, what is it next? These. This is the Robert DBS pack. This is by, where's my list? This is by Paolo 5090R. Now there are 4 in this pack. We've got the DBS 960 at 9.6 meters. We've got the DBS 960 sewing machine we've got the DBS 720 Eco at 7.2 metres and the DBS 720 Plus. Now these are all mechanical weeders. So when weeds are in their first growth stage, in their infancy, you can go through the mechanical weeder and remove the weeds, but these will also fertilise as well. Now you don't have to use them as a weeder, you could just use them as a fertiliser, and it doesn't cost you anything. There are a few of these about. There's a Joskin Scaraflex, there's an Agramash BM75. I think those two definitely do. A little bit like some of the field rollers and things like that, so you can get a fertilising stake without actually having to pay for any fertiliser. These are incredibly well detailed, but come at a cost. This pack is 65.43 megabytes download. 10 slots, 11 slots, the third one is 9 slots, and the last one is 10. Like I say, they are incredibly well detailed, very nice. Beacons on the back, a few different options that we're going to have a look at. Needless to say, I'm not going to yeah, I should really show each one, shouldn't I? You'll find them under weeders. So the DBS 960, 9.6 metres, requires 140 horsepower, runs at 7 miles per hour. Options available. We can have without options, or we can have an extended third row of teeth on there. Realistically, in-game will serve no extra purpose. It's an aesthetic thing, but if you wanted to go for the extra row, you can. The DBS 960 sowing machine has a 300 litre tank that will only put grass down. So if you want to use it as a sowing machine, it can grass as well. If you want to put grass somewhere, that's entirely to you. Again, 140 horsepower, 9.6 metres, runs at 7 miles per hour. Same options, without options, or with the extra row of teeth. If we move on to the DBS 720 Eco, this is obviously 7.2 metres, requires 150 horsepower, runs at 7. You've got without options. You can have signalling, so you've got the hazard boxes and then the light array on there as well. You can have it with the third row of teeth, or you can have it with both, the third row of teeth and the signalling, or off altogether if you want. Now the difference between the Eco and the Eco Plus, there's a few more tines on the Plus. Again, in game, will it make any difference? Realistically, no, it won't, but this one again, signalling, third row of teeth, or both, or off. Under weeders. So, like I said, these aren't cultivators, they're weeders, so they will give you that state. We'll unfold that one. That one next to it is already unfolded, but we'll see the animation for it unfolding. Nice smooth animation. Like I said, loads of detail on these. Incredibly well made. Beacons on the back. Lights as well. So if I was weeding, I can drop that down, and as you can see already, as soon as you drop it down, it turns on. I haven't turned that on, and I'm getting fertilising already. So if there were weeds in the ground, it would be removing the weeds as well. But at 7 miles an hour and at 9.6 metres wide, I'm getting a free fertilising state. Generally speaking, with these sorts of machines, they work pretty well all the time. I know 7 miles an hour is not that fast, but when you haven't got the added cost of fertiliser as well. Now the other one next to it, the DB960 sowing machine, that will need to be run weirdly, because you can sow with that. You can remove weeds, although why would you want to remove weeds and then put grass over a crop? Maybe over a meadow or something? It's a bit of an odd one, that, but anyway. That will do grass, 9.6 metres, but it will need to be on a cultivated bit of ground, because it won't seed onto a bit of grass. It's not a cultivator, so it's not a direct drill, is what I was trying to say. And then these two are exactly the same for all intents and purposes. This was 7.2 metre. Terrible lineup on that. Again, nice smooth opening. We drop it down. It will mechanically weed, but it will also give you a fertilising state as you go. So there we have it. That's the Robert DBS pack by Paolo 5090R. Next we have got, this is the Metaltech IT47 Custom by GTX. It's 4.38 megabytes download, 7 slots on console. This is an auger wagon, an IT runner auger wagon, 47,000 litres. This will take, it's custom because it will take some extra crops that a regular auger wagon won't normally take. Very nicely made. Now I've only used it on this particular one at the moment, the Blacksheep modding 850 hook. I've had no issues with it loading or unloading. That's not to say that on whichever IT runner piece of equipment you decide to use, some of them, sometimes you get a mod conflict and they'll flip about a bit. So yeah, I mean, at the moment, what I've done, it's worked absolutely flawlessly. Did I say who it was by? I didn't know, yeah, GTX. This you'll find under auger wagons. 56,000 to buy, 47,000 litre capacity, and it will take the regular crop types that an auger wagon will take, including seed and fertiliser, but this will also do extra things like wood chip. It will do toll mix ration, I think it does, lime, and it will do silage as well. I'm just going to check that when I said toll mix ration. Yeah, toll mix ration, chaff, wood chip, silage, and lime on top of the regular things. So if you have got a liming operation, or you could use it for feeding your cows, which is wonderful. Oh, so that would have been a good idea. Let's show you the options. So the options available on this: we can change the main colour to anything on that palette. We can change the design colour to anything on that palette. At the moment, nothing changes. That's because the design colour is for the cover, which is like so. Those are the options. And what we'll do is back up, hook up, load it on. It's a big old unit, but, and like I said, it hasn't got to be on a lorry based one. You can do this on a trailer. There are so many different IT runner options available. I mean, it feels heavy. 47,000 litres, it's heavy. Cover open. Nice rolling cover as well, sliding backwards and forwards. It's not that instantaneous bump bump we often get, Pipe out, L1, and oh, I'm getting, that was interesting. When the cover was opening, the lorry was sliding. Yeah, look, that stopped now. Do it again. No, not that one. Yeah, I'm getting a bit of movement. Okay. Pipe out, L1 and down on the D-pad. Raises the pipe. Nice high auger pipe on this as well. But we do have the option L1 and right stick side to side to adjust the angle on that. Yeah, I'm getting a bit of slide here. When I get to the extents of the movements, just a little bit. Has got lights on it as well. And we can, I think, L1, R1, and we can adjust that head as well. Sure we can. There we go. R1, whoops, R1 and right stick side to side. Can adjust the actual nozzle on the very end as well. Our note here, L1, R1 and triangle. Whether that's into another trailer, whether it's into a sell point, whether whatever it might be, is entirely up to you. Pipe away, cover on. Unload here, you watch it flip off now all over the... No. Watch this flip all over the place now. Oh no. We're good. I'm sure people will find all sorts of uses. It's a very nice bit of kit. The Metaltech IT47 Custom by GTX. Very nice. Which brings me on to the mods for today, Tuesday the 9th. There are only 3 today as far as I can tell. Just look on my list. Pretty sure it's only 3 today. Yeah. We'll start off with this one here. This is the Seppi, or OBE, depending if it's, well, it says Seppi, but then OBE on console. The Multipla S9 by BlackEyes Modding. This is 9.29 megabytes download, 2 slots on console for the front mower and 4 slots for the rear. Now, oddly on the website, this does go on about it being a mulcher and all different things like that, and it does show on the pictures it kind of cutting grass. It almost looks like weeding, and weirdly it doesn't appear to be leaving any grass on the ground. Now, the one I've got here does leave grass on the ground, and I've been looking at options and I can't find an option to turn that on or off. So in essence, this is just a mower setup. I say just. Very nicely detailed. The front mower is an interesting one as well, because under options we have the option for a 3-point link for it to be front mounted or rear mounted, so you can have that on the back and just bring that along behind you, or you can have both, so you can switch it between front or rear depending on what you want to do, which I think is a slightly different option. I'm not sure if I've come across that before for mowers, but anyway, so under mowers, the S9 base, which is the front mower, potentially 100 horsepower required, 2.8 meters wide, will run at 7 miles per hour. Like I said, rear work mode, front work mode, or both. Then you've got old colouring or new colouring are the two options. The what I would consider the rear mower, but the trailed mower, we've only got the option of old colouring or new colouring. That's 8 meters wide, 150 horsepower required to pull that. Like I say, nothing is mentioned there about mulching or anything like that. I did wonder if it was under forestry, whether there was another set of these or something, but there aren't. I think it is just genuinely a mower. So what I'll do is I open my help menu. That's it hooked up. So we've got turn on mower, unfold mower, lower mower. There's nothing, no other options I can find. Anything about like not swathing, not leaving grass behind or anything like that. So what we'll do is we'll turn on the mower, unfold the rear mower, lower that one down. Nice smooth animation. The beauty of a trailed mowing setup in real life is that you're not putting extra weight or anything over or on the 3-point link. That said, a lot of 3-point links are kind of rated at something like 4 ton, or some of them might be more than that, depending on the size of the tractor. But it will mow out to 8 meters. Now, it only runs at 7 miles an hour, which is probably the drawback of this particular setup. Then it only runs at 7. There is no swath option either, so it will always leave it wide. And even though you've got that option there of a front and rear 3-point link, you can't set this up as a triple mower setup because the rear one is trailed. Although, hang on a minute, you can. I've just noticed. Hang on. I'm glad I thought that. Looking on the back of there, there's a 3-point link. That's why. So you can I think. There we go. Turn that on, drop that down. Turn that on. There we go. Although strangely, well, I suppose, yeah, if you've got a tractor that doesn't have a front 3-point link, that's the perfect way of doing it, because you're getting that 8 meter wide mowing without having to worry. Normally the reason for doing, or say the reason why people would mostly do a 3-point or put them all together as a whole unit would be so you can put something else on the back. But yeah, there you go. So it will do a triple mower setup. It just runs off the back rather than off the front. Again, something a little bit different. Interesting setup. I mean, it's still going to require a lot of horsepower. At 7 miles an hour, that's not lacking in horsepower, but it felt like it was struggling a little bit. Anyway, that's the Seppi Multipla S9 by BlackEyes modding. Next, we have the modded Valtra A Series. This is by Lapinpoika For Mari99 and Mrmazzony, 31.88 megabytes download, 39 slots on console. We do have a standard in-game one. This has got a few more options available on it. One being that this has a 3-point link on which the standard in-game one doesn't have. There's a rail around the top and a couple of other options available. More tyre choices, extensions on the arches and things like that, but we'll have a look at all those in a second. I only went for a yellow to make it kind of stand out a little bit. There are a few different options available on colours too. Nice looking mod. Under small tractors, the standard in-game one is 65,600 to buy in 30 slots. So this is 9 slots more. Not too many more really when you think of all the options you're getting. 65,600, same price. Now the standard in-game one goes up to 110 horsepower. This goes a little bit higher. We can change the rim colours to anything on that palette. Main colour, now this is where we've got a few different options. We've got standard colours. We've then got metallics, and then we've got what's saying unlimited. Now, it could just be my eyesight. That's the standard. That's a metallic. And then that's the unlimited. I can't, it could just be my eyes. I'm trying to see the difference between metallic and unlimited. But I'm not going to go through all the options, but we've got some greens, blues, we've got yellow, candied orange, normal, and there's a whole load of different ones to go through and try out. And then we've got design colour. If we change the design colour, that is for the front loader attachment, so you can coordinate, mix and match, whatever you want to do. So configurations. We've got standard, we've got a 240 kilogram weight, 560 kilogram weight, front link without PTO, front link which has the PTO, and then back to standard. Wheel options, we've got Trelleborg, we've got Nokian, we've got Michelin and back. I think on the standard in-game one it's just Trelleborg and Nokian. Under Trelleborg we've got standard, wheel weights, wides, wide and weights, rear twins, twins, narrows, back to standard. Under Nokian we've got standard, communal with weights, back to standard. Michelin we've got standard, weights, twins, rear twins, twins, and back to standard. As is kind of usual, the Trelleborg's got more of the options. If you want narrows, the Trelleborg's the one that's got the narrow options, but you might not want narrows at all. Then we've got fenders, standard. We've got fenders flare, tall, and wide, back to standard. Then we've got roof bar, yes or no, if you want a roof bar. Then engine setup, we've got the A74 at 75 horsepower, A84 at 85 horsepower, A94 at 95 horsepower, the 104 at 100, the 104 High-Tech 4, I'm assuming that's gearing and stuff. It doesn't actually give you a difference in horsepower according to that. Then we've got the A114 at 110 horsepower, the A114 High-Tech 4, then we've got the A124 at 120 horsepower, and the A134 at 130 horsepower. So this will go 20 horsepower up on the standard in-game one. And then we've got beacon lights, left, right, both, or off. Front loader attacher, yes or no. And as you can see, that's in the candied orange, which is what I went for on design colour. Style console, alloy console, and Hauer console. Those are the options. Lights, beacons, horn, L1, R1, left stick side to side does the far door, going that way. So L1, R1, left stick side to side does that door. Right stick side to side does that door. And then the swing around to the back. L1, R1 and right stick up and down does the rear window. I do like the alternative knock-in tyre tread other than the communal. A few more tractors are getting that now, and it's a not. I personally just like it. Interior, nice and tidy. not bad at all, actually. I'm just going to see, is the seat linked? Brilliant. So the seat is independent. I am bumping around independent of the wheel and stuff, so very cool. That's the Valtra A Series by Lapin Poika, FS19 and Mrmazzony. Which brings me on to the last of the mods for yesterday and today, and it's these, the Cambridge Rollers pack. These, as with a lot of rollers, can give you a fertilising state. These have a couple of options. You can have them as fertiliser rollers or as weeders. You can't do both with these, it's one or the other. There's one main roller, which when it's opened will allow you to attach other rollers. Each one does have a central hitch as well, so if you're transporting them down the road, you can run them in line astern and have them all linked up for going down the road. Then you just unhook them all and hook them up individually. There are a few different roller packs available at the moment. This you'll find under tools and miscellaneous, I think this one was. So the first one is the Cambridge. They're both 1500 to buy. They are both, what did I say they were? 5 slots each. It's 9.78 megabytes download this in its entirety. The first one is the one that has the option with the extenders, so you can attach other ones onto it. We can change the main colour to anything on that palette. So you can have it as a sprayer or a weeder. It won't do both. So if you just want to use it for weeding, then put it in the weeding configuration. Without warning stickers and with warning stickers, they go on the front. Those are the options. Now the ones that attach, the subsequent ones, again, anything on that palette, sprayer or weeder. Those are the options available on it. What I'll do, nope. If we hook up to the first one, so L1 and X folds that away, so for transport I can do that. I can then back up and then hook up one in the middle and the next one in the middle and just transport. L1 and X opens that back out again. Now what you'll notice is I am fertilising at the moment. The ground is getting darker as I drive over it. Now that's not right, because it says turn on rollers. Now as I brought these out, I wanted to test them to make sure they worked properly, and I turned them on. So when I finished, I turned them off and they've just carried on fertilising. There's no option to raise or lower them. Where it says fold rollers, that's for the front one, and that does that, although the others are still attached, as you can see. Let me move forward. So I actually have to detach from them, so it doesn't seem to matter whether I turn them on or off now. I'm still getting a fertilising state. You see it's getting darker as we go across the ground, which is great. Again, it's free fertilising. It's a free fertiliser state by dragging these rollers over. I'm not quite sure how you're supposed to turn them off. It doesn't seem to want to know, which is a bit peculiar. Now I'm sure the question is likely to be asked, can you have multiple ones of those? I don't see any reason why not. I haven't tried it, but it's worked with other roller sets before. So if I got one of those, put another one of those here instead of that, another one of those here instead of that, and then put 2 of these on the outside, I could technically keep extending this out further and further. It would get a little bit unwieldy to manoeuvre around, but I suppose you could. I don't see any reason why not. So there you have it. With me seemingly unable to turn these fertilisers off, we have come to the end of the mod review for today and yesterday. I hope you found it useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. Oh, I didn't say who these were by. These are by Ostry. I'm so sorry. These are by Ostry. Yeah, if you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.